Good afternoon, I'm James Hocking. I'm the Director of Wine here at the Vineyard in Newbury. It's my pleasure to look after the 30,000 bottle cellar that we have on site here, some of which you'll see behind me. California plays a very large part of what we do with our connections with Sir Peter Michael and his winery in Northern California, but we have an equally eclectic and impressive range of wines from all the top areas: Bordeaux, Burgundy, the Rhone Valley, Italy, Spain, and of course some maybe not quite so classic areas, more up and coming regions, but essentially we try to offer everything. 30,000 bottles, 3,000 listings, and a list that changes almost daily. We have a very energetic buying program that makes sure we always have something different. So I think without further ado, let's pop down to the cellar and have a bit of a tour. So welcome to our wine vault, our downstairs wine cellar at the Vineyard. This has always been here. The cellar has always been part of the intrinsic building. However, in 2012, we took the floorboards up and put this glass roof on it so you can see right up through to the upper parts of the wine vault. All temperature controlled, of course. We try to keep it at about 60 degrees Fahrenheit, but 12, 13 degrees C. And the humidity is also a pretty constant rate. So it replicates a very classic subterranean cellar. We keep about 30,000 bottles of wine on site at any one point in time, split very roughly around 27,000 in a huge upstairs wine vault. And these tend to be our showcase wines. Let's have a look and see a few of the bottles that we've got here. This is Williams & Salem Chardonnay. It's from the Hirsch Vineyard, one of California's most famous vineyards out on Sonoma Coast. 1999, the last vintage, produced by the original owners of Williams & Salem. I think our allocation back in about 2001 was only 12 bottles, and I see we've got one left. Fabulous Chardonnay, still amazing, another 10, 15 years of life. Very rich, very elegant, but lots of grip and poise there. And then Kessler. What do I say about the Kessler wines? Well, we have a few of them, among America's rarest and finest wines. These are produced from various fruit sources in the northern part of California, primarily Sonoma, Carneros, which is the bit that joins Napa and Sonoma down towards the bottom of the wine growing region in the north. But we have most of the single vineyard properties from them. We get a tiny allocation a year, we snap them up. Collectors love them. They're actually quite hard to find. So actually us having 20 bottles alone here probably makes us the biggest stockholders in the UK at the moment, I would say. I'm a bit of a German wine fan as well. Love things like Moselle, Rheinfeldt and what have you. J.J. Prum, in extra special years, they produce a gold capsule. They actually identify their best wines by just decorating that lead capsule, the tin capsule, with a gold leaf. Quite hard to find. This is another single vineyard property from them, 2008 vintage. So we've got 3 bottles of this left. It's got to last us a whole year before the next allocation comes along. However, I suggest we now go upstairs and do some tasting. So we're going to taste some wine this afternoon. Many of these we import directly from California. We've got some quite good connections with some growers on what I would call California's true north coast. So fly into San Francisco Airport, drive about 70 miles north, you'll find yourself in Napa, and we work around Napa, Sonoma and Mendocino counties, so the whole northern part of California's wine growing scene. So a few wines to try. We'll start with a producer called Ferrari Carano. So these guys are in Sonoma County, quite coastal. The Pacific Ocean's about 25 miles away. And that coastal climate lends itself to quite aromatic, quite crisp, quite clean wines. Alcohols can be a big problem in the New World. They rise out of control, or they can rise out of control. So if we find that nice, cool, sweet spot to get good fruit from, it works well. We've got our Riedel glasses here. So the first thing I'm going to do is have a good look at the wine. Let's make sure it looks clean, looks clear, looks healthy. Yes, it does. Great. So we're going to swirl the wine around, get some oxygen flowing into that glass, try and agitate the molecules. Yep, again, nice, clean, crisp aromas. Primary fruit, bit of pineapple, tropical there, so that's good. You've got that cleanliness, that cleanness and crispness, but a nice bit of body and weight. There's a Guinea Fowl Terrine on our menu that it works well with. Guinea Fowl is quite sort of rich. We'll go to red. Brego Vineyards, Brego Cellars, Anderson Valley, Mendocino County. So we're really right up in the far northern part of California grape growing. The Pacific Ocean is very close by, so we have a lovely, clean, crisp style of red wine. And by its nature, this would actually work quite well with dishes such as cod or turbot. Quite light in colour, Pinot Noir, like great aroma, so a nice deep bowl. Nice mouthful. And it's where acidity comes into red wine. It's very important. It means each mouthful is quite refreshing. Actually works with a wide variety of food. Maybe the most versatile red around, as I said. Seafood, great. Some meat, great. Roast pork, amazing combination with the pork. And then moving on to the more fuller-bodied styles of wine. This is Sir Peter Michael's own Le Pavot. It's a Bordeaux blend. That is to say, it's a Cabernet Sauvignon-based wine, but you've got some Merlot, some Petit Verdot, some Malbec in there as well. So it's a very classic, what you would call a left bank style Bordeaux blend. Very big, very rich. We can see it in the glass lip. These grapes are very thick-skinned, lots of extract, lots of colour. Heaven with beef, quite rare beef. Venison would be a good match as well, actually. Assess it in the same way. This is vintage 2003. Many people think California red wine does not age. The best years, the wine really does. So look at the wine again, nice and deep. Lots of alcohol, lots of viscosity lining the side of the glass. Lots of cassis, very sort of ripe, super ripe fruits. And a finish in the mouth that really goes on and on and on. You can really taste the wine. And on to dessert wine. We're going to go back to Ferrari Carano in Sonoma County again. This is a botrytized Semillon. That is to say, it's made in exactly the same way as Sauterne is made in the Bordeaux region of France. The grapes are left to rot on the vine, literally rot. So the juice kind of evaporates and you get down to this kind of unctuous grape paste. Hence the viscosity, hence the colour. Very crisp, very clean. The acidity is really quite high, which is probably the most important thing with dessert wine. Bad dessert wine, very cloying, very sweet. This has actually got a certain freshness and a liveliness to it, which is good. But when you have a sip of the wine, it's got some lovely mouth cleansing acidity there. We have a white chocolate dish. In our dessert section, this works really, really well with. Actually copes quite well with a wide variety. I'd probably avoid pairing white dessert wines with quite heavy chocolate-based foods, but this actually works quite well.